let's do this. I don't think I'm gonna use the book to interpret what this is going to be about. Instead, I'm gonna do my own kind of interpretation. But if I really truly believe, this one was once to come out, but sorry, let me start again. If I really believe that I need like extra help with knowing what the card is about, then by all means I'll read from the book. But because these are new cards, I've had them for about 2.5-3 weeks now, I am starting to get to know and understand the cards a bit more. I want 5 today. Whoops, that's too much. Okay. Ooh, that's a good one. Actually, now I want 7. I want 7. I don't want 5. And I want to put them like this. One at the top and one at the bottom. Are you going to be top or bottom? Okay. I always get her. I always get Goddess of True Self. No, now I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I might as well do 10. I'm just being guided, right? Okay. I'm gonna work from the bottom and to the top. Okay. Chocolate like. Okay. I'm doing it like a pyramid. I'll show you. Right? So the outside message or the over message, I'll do that. You can't see it. Right. So I'm gonna do left to right and then go up. Left to right. So I've got Goddess of Finding the Way. Hot water and cold water change form. Interesting. And then I've got Goddess of the Safe Haven. I feed my soul. Goddess of the Yin Spirit, slowly smouldering. Let it burn. Goddess of Quiet Contemplation, the stillness of the forest. Goddess of Universal Forgiveness, scatter the ashes. Goddess of Grief at the source, burn at the source. Interesting. Goddess of Revived Consciousness, phoenix rises from the ashes. Beautiful. Goddess of the ravine, I stand unshaken on this earth. Love it. Powerful. Especially when you're rising from the ashes, right? Goddess of the source of the spring, Ophelia can swim. Swimming through those emotions, baby. And then, Goddess of the truest self, the sparkling power, let me start again. The sparkling, powerful essence of self. Right? This is very interesting. And then the card on the outside, the one that's at the bottom of the deck, is Goddess of the forest spring. I remember us having this one before. Roots hold firm. I love it. I'm trusting there's more. 3 more. 2 more. Goddess of the flowing word. Let go, prepare, and flow. Goddess of the open mind. Wash past the rust. But I'm not doing these 2. I'm just going to do Goddess of the forest spring, to not overcomplicate. Okay. Quick water break. Cool. Let's start. So, Goddess of finding the way. Hot water and cold water change form. That is very interesting, and I find it quite complicated. So, I'm going to try my hardest to decipher the meanings that I receive, because sometimes they come faster than my brain can handle. Okay, I'm going to try and slow it down. So, I've got chocolate on me. Goddess of finding the way. I think that's quite self-explanatory, right? It's like when you're doing a lot of work on yourself, particularly shadow work, it makes sense, right? That through all the fogginess, you're finding your way through it, right? It can be clouded, and what you thought was one way might actually be the other. You know, so when you think it's hot, it's cold, and then it's cold, it's hot, right? So it means that it's a bit more challenging, right, to work out what was true and what was not true, especially if there's a lot of trauma involved, because there's a lot of confusion, perhaps a lot of gaslighting, perhaps a lot of manipulation. So I think it's like this back and forth between like trusting yourself on what had occurred and what was right, and perhaps trying to find the truth within that and the lies. Okay, because especially if there's been a lot of gaslighting, you know, it is like a form of brainwashing, right? So it's kind of hard to know and figure out. It's kind of like trying to put a jigsaw puzzle all together, and there's a lot of missing pieces, and so you're trying to fill the blanks in yourself to make sense of the bigger piece of like the whole, you know, trying to crack the code basically of what has occurred, especially if you're being told that it's not true or that didn't happen, or words get twisted, right? But also the thing that the hot and water change in form. So maybe, like, for example, you could have been a cool, collected, easygoing person, never really lost your temper, tried to keep the peace. And now it's like, fuck it. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you all. That's what I'm getting. You know, you're kind of like flipping the switch now to who you was, and you're letting yourself feel all the things that was deeply repressed within. That's what I'm getting from that. But through those emotions, though, again, going back to finding your way through it, you need, I mean, it's all a part of you, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, whatever. It's all a part of you and you within this existence. So I'm guessing this is kind of like a transformation. You are being more true to yourself. The more true you are to yourself, the easier it will become for you to sail through that fogginess, right? Without anyone being able to cloud your mind and to cloud your judgment. That's what I'm getting from that. So I'm just going to leave it here so you can see. Just for a few seconds. Pause it if you need to, if you want to analyze the card. Okay? Right. When I look at her, this spirit, her eyes seem kind of like downwards. She's like, I feel like there's a bit of fear there. Fear, sadness. The eyes are quite hollow, right? Sunken. Water, fire, because it's a water fire card. I'm feeling, and the reason, let me just quickly jump off a minute, because the reason why I'm not reading through this book, because I feel like it was just too optimistic. And I don't like that, because you can't be like that in life, right? That's why I'm focusing more on the card itself rather than what's written in the book. But when I'm thinking of water and fire together, you know, water dampens the fire, right? So I'm thinking that there's a lot of pain and it's like a heaviness. And the fire that gives you energy, gives you life, makes you want to act, gives you passion, and it's burning. It's being dampened on, right? And it's creating this fogginess. Because as well, I think the word fogginess came to me as well, because when you, even though it's not fog, like when you throw water on top of a fire and it, you know, it creates a smoke and then it sizzles and it fades away. That's the kind of image that I'm getting from this. So, yeah, you're finding your way through this hurt, and it's something heavy, it's something deep within, it's something that hits heavy, weighs heavy, you know, on your heart. But you're finding your way through it. Beautiful. Right, now, Goddess of Safe Haven, I feed my soul, earth and air. I like this. I tell you why. So, obviously, a safe haven is just creating that environment for yourself, right? It's a bit like the hermit in a way. Sometimes you gotta remove yourself from, you know, and just have a look on the outside. I don't think the hermit is particularly bad. It's kind of like, what's the word? I can't remember the word because my mind's gone blank. But you know, it's kind of like taking a step back, and I see it as like a form of meditation, basically. But the reason why I like the Goddess of Safe Haven and the saying, I feed my soul, earth, air, is because I feel like it's guiding you on how to create more balance in your life and to remain more grounded. Now, I even love the word grounded, because you know, the word ground means like earth to me. It means connecting, you know. You're firm, you know, you're not going anywhere when you're grounded. Like your roots in it, like the roots in a tree is connected to the ground, you know. That's why I like it. But earth and air is telling me two things: go outside, connect with nature, and go outside, soak in the environment around you. And that within itself will keep you rooted. And that within itself is what will help you create that safe haven, especially when you're feeling somewhere that doesn't feel quite safe, right? And through doing so as well, because it is next to Goddess of Finding the Way, and there's an eye here as well. So I feel like that's what's going to be meditative for you, right? And it's going to help clear up some things. It is like this. Okay? So, yeah, you'll be more intuitive in a practical way by doing this. Okay? And I feel like there's quite a bit of hope and longing. And even though there's no arms in this card, I feel like she's just doing this. You know, like hug, like a comforting oneself. You know, our eyes are open, it's like, you know, longing to feel safe. I don't know if you see it, fair enough if you don't, but that's what I see when I look at her. Okay. Now next to it. Okay, I like this. Goddess of the Yin Spirit, slowly smouldering, fire, fire. So when you start connecting to yourself, right, and connecting to the earth and the air around you, the space around you, you end up you'll end up am I saying the words right? Sorry. You'll end up starting to feel this fire burning inside of you again. And what is that fire burning if not passion, right? Is that not energy flowing through you? So it's slow. It's, you know, because, you know, you got the water and the fire in your heart because it's heavy, you know, it's weighing on you. But it doesn't mean that the fire's completely extinguished and is being taken over by sad emotions. No, she's still there. She's there slowly burning, smouldering, you know, really deep within. And I'm getting the stomach area. I'm getting a lot of this, right? And it needs to like come up and out. You'll get there. So that's what I get. And even though she looks quite angry like this, I feel for you, I don't feel like that's what it is, right? I feel like it's just waiting to connect. And then I'm also, this is very spiritual actually. This is very spiritual. I feel like it will be connected to culture, and the reason why is the way the card is drawn around here. And I think when you see it, you'll know exactly what I mean. Okay. Next. Okay, Goddess of Quiet Contemplation. It goes hand in hand with the slowly smouldering. Sorry, my phone is like on 20%. I'm going to try and be quick with this. So, the stillness of the forest, wood, earth. Again, while the passions are burning up inside of you and you're starting to connect with it because you're connecting more with your environment and not the mental energy, right? And if you do start focusing on what is going on, like mentally within you. It's going to be from a physical aspect because you're connecting yourself to the earth and spirit. Excuse me, sorry. And through that, you'll reach a stillness which will reenact peace. You will feel like peace. Peace in the mind. That's what I'm getting from that, right? And this is wood earth, and you know, wood comes from the earth. I mean, everything. Yeah. Anyway, wood, earth. Wood is the grounding aspect of it. Earth is the whole. So I'm guessing your world will start to feel more stable. Then from that, we're going up a level now, right? Because I'm doing it like a pyramid. So the next level is Goddess of Universal Forgiveness. Scatter the ashes, fire, air. So it's going to be a huge release. You let it out because you don't want to hold on to that heaviness anymore, right? You're letting it go. And through that will be acceptance. If you wish for it to be, I mean. Now, you don't have to completely forget in order to forgive. And you don't even have to necessarily forgive per se. But what you can do is move on, right? When you think of the memories of all that has happened, right, in your present, go back and just think, this is old. This is my past. This isn't where I am right now. And this isn't where I am heading. I can direct myself in the best way possible to where I'm going, but I cannot change the actions of the past. So when you think of those moments of what has happened to make you into the person that you are today, just think of all the time that has existed in that space. I hope I'm making sense, because it is history. It's not current. You may be living in it within, like in your present right now, but realistically, you're not there anymore. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's just releasing it. It's a release. But you can't just think this way. It has to be something that's acted upon, something that is done. And you have to flow through all these moments to get there. You can't jump the gun. You can't go from starting at A and then end up at Z. You know, it won't work that way. You've got to do all the steps in between while remaining in your present. Okay? 2 feet on the ground, connected to the physical things. You know, oh, I put this button on my face, it feels cold. I drink the water. I feel it going down my throat. Do you know what I mean? Present. Let me show you her. Now this actually, as I'm looking at her, is very interesting. Her eyes are wide. And I think it's because she's scarred. It's like, right? It's PTSD. It's like fear. But it will fade. You are not your pain. You can release the pain. The pain of your past doesn't need to be the pain of your present and the pain of your future. Goddess of grief at the source, burn at the source. It's all connected, right? That's the next card. So it goes to what I've just said here about scatter the ashes. So, you know, you're not burying it anymore, right? All the things that are deep within your psyche, right? Within your feelings, the things that are eating you up inside. By acknowledging them for what they were and what it's made you into today, that will help. You know, when you're grieving something, it's because, or for me, I only want to speak about myself in this aspect. When I think of grieving, I think of a sort of loss, you know. For me, it's like the loss of innocence, the loss of trust. I don't know. That's or the loss of a person, or a person more than a thing, because I don't really grieve over material things. So when I think about grief, that's what I feel deep within my core, right? So what is the source of grief for you? And do you know, even though I said person, actually thinking about it, instead of thinking about the person, perhaps you can think more about the emotion like that surrounds it. So when I think about, let's say, my dad, for example, and me grieving him, not because he's no longer with me, but because he wasn't able to show up for me and my brother, or even brothers, in the way that we needed. So I suppose I'm grieving the father that I never had. I always loved but never had. And although he was around and physically there in our lives, emotionally there was no support. So I'm grieving the lack of emotional support. Okay? That's just like an example. So it's not always, I mean, yes, it's the person, but it's the feeling, is what the I hope I'm making sense. But when we're grieving something, we can even grieve a memory. It can even be a happy memory. So for example, I don't know, like if I think back to my childhood and playing outside, I could be grieving the innocence there, the loss of innocence, because I will never go back to a time where I can just happily play hopscotch for hours at an end and knock door run and hide and seek and have that excitement and adrenaline and fun with me and my little brother, you know, and all the things we got up to, because we're adults now. So maybe I'm just no, like not unjust, but you know, I can think of grief in that way. But it does say burn at the source. So if it's like painful memories, right, it's more about accepting it and releasing it. But it goes hand in hand with this one. So that's what I get for that, okay? Tap into those kind of emotions, what you are grieving about the situation, so that you can put it to peace, you can put it to rest, right? You can then be like, okay, I have mourned you. I have mourned what I've never managed to have, or what I've managed to lose, or what could have been. I've now grieved that. And now that I have grieved it, I don't know if that's a word, but you know what I mean. And you know, there's no time frame. It doesn't have to be done like there and then in that moment. But you know, you can just be in that space while you're walking outside, feet on the ground, feeling the wind in your hair, or whatever, on your cheeks. You know, you think back, and you grieve that moment, that memory, that wish. Let it stay with you. Just be in it. Breathe in and then out. Okay, that's what I'm going for that. So, the next one is, and by the way, I'm not saying to do this, but this is just what I'm getting, you know, and I'm a person that feels, so I'm very expressive. So next one is Goddess of Revived Consciousness. Phoenix rises from the ashes. Fire, fire. It's that burning sensation again, that passion ready to come out. So you're becoming reborn after all of this. So, you know, after this grieving process, right, of whatever it is or was, okay, because a lot of the things that have happened, so it's in the past, right? It's not here in the now. I mean, something might happen like a minute down the road, and then, down the line, and then that will piss me off, and then I need to grieve over that again. But, you know, it's a work in process. It's a work in process. Anyway, you will rise again. Oh, how powerful. New start, reborn. And actually, do I want to say reborn? No, because the old parts of you are still you, but it's more like a transformation. You're just evolving. How beautiful. Now, we're going to the next tier. Goddess of the ravine. I stand unshaken on this earth, and it's an earth card. So you know what that is? Freaking strength. Okay, you rise from the ashes, and now you feel fucking strong. Oh my god, I feel so strong. Oh, I feel powerful. I feel good. I feel rooted. Nothing can unshake me now after all of this. How beautiful. And she has a beautiful smile. Can you see? It's like a smirk. It's like a cheeky little, I'm ready. Took a little side smirk. Oh, how beautiful. And she's so connected to the earth. And if you are an earth sign, even more powerful, right? Even more powerful, because that means you're truly connected to yourself. Now, Goddess at the source of the spring. Ophelia can swim. Water, water. Okay, another double card. How many have you had? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, interesting. So what I get from this is you can now, after all the grieving and everything, when you're in this moment, it means that you can be, well, you can travel back to those painful moments and you can handle it. Ophelia can swim. You know, the heartache won't break you anymore. The sadness won't stop you in the tracks and consume you. You'll be able to feel it all, but still be grounded, still act, where was I going? Act in your own best interests. I feel like you won't be swimming against the tides anymore of all these emotions and drowning amongst the waves and of all the sadness wrapped around you. No. You'll be going with it. You'll be swimming with it. Flowing with it. Being with it. You can just float and let the water surround you and you'll stay afloat. And you know, you will feel it. And if anything, you'll feel stronger for it, you'll feel blessed by it. It will make you feel very grounded, very human, very blissful, I feel like. Calm, relaxed. That's what I'm going. I feel like you could just melt away within it and it won't be drowning in sadness. No. It will feel liberating after all of this. Very, very liberating. And then the last card on top of the pyramid is this one. I say that she is me because we both have big boobs. But Goddess of True Self. Now, I remember when I read this card out and it was very sexual, but I think this is just all about self-love, like true self-love, self-worth. I feel like you won't be doubting yourself anymore after this. It's the sparkling power essence of self, water, ether. So for me, that is literally being you unapologetically. And I know people say that all the time and people want to do that, but it's still a performance. But for you, it will not be a performance. Do you know what I mean? For you, you'll just be, and that is it. And like I said, there'll still be moments in life that will unsettle you and stuff, but you'll be an evolved version of yourself. So the way you'll react to it will be very different to how you've reacted before. And I feel like you won't be pleasing other people. That people pleasing side to you won't be there anymore. However, because it's like a water ether, I feel like it's a good balance, because you'll still be able to emotionally connect to people. You won't be putting your guard up or stonewalling people or anything like that, or just keeping your distance, like no, stay away. No, if anything, you'll still be able to feel, to love and stuff like that, but it's going to be a hell of a lot more grounded and healthier. And then when you need to speak up for yourself, you will. But there's a lot of pleasure with this. Yeah. A lot of physical pleasure in this physical vow, because you're just letting it all go. And I feel like it will feel very it will feel like ecstasy when you reach this state. I mean, you're not going to be up there forever, but you know, blissful. It will feel like bliss after all the things that you've been through. Bliss and relief. It's okay. I've made it. That's what I got. Oh yes, I made it. Okay. I love that. And then the last card, which is at the bottom of the deck, is Goddess of Forest Spring, Roots Hold Firm, Wood and Water. So you're going to be able to stabilize yourself for a long time. And you know, that to me just means that, again, it talks about this grounding, like the roots, so you're building your foundation and you're able to sustain it like you would sustain life through water. That's what I get from that. I love it. I freaking love it. Don't you? Anyway, this is beautiful. And I would just like to thank you for allowing me to go on this journey with you. I've got the Goddess of New Spirit, slowly smouldering again, fire. Remember her? She just came out again. It's coming, it's slow. I think the slowly smouldering as well, it's like, this isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to be a slow transformation, but one that is very needed. Yeah, because once you come through the other side, that's it. That is it. Yeah. Yeah, very, very, very beautiful. Very. But yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to come on this journey with you. I feel so grateful, because the energy that I'm feeling from this, my left arm is vibrating. And I'm connecting it to the heart. Oh, it's vibrating, pulsing a lot. This is strong energy. So much hope, but it feels so good. I'm excited for you. Really. Thank you for staying with me through all of this. Okay, I'm gonna get going now. How transformational. Anyway, bye.